With us, Ajay Srivastava, founder Global Trade Research Initiative, joining in on the show right now. Ajay, thank you so much for your time today, and apologies to keep you waiting, but part and parcel of live news. Tell me how significant, Ajay, you think the US is as a market when it comes to for Indian agricultural exports, and which Indian agri products you think are most going to be by the US's proposed tariffs so far?
Hi, so good morning. You did not make me wait for more than a few minutes, so it's all right. So US is an important market for India's agri products. Our exports in calendar year 2024 were $50.7 billion exports of agriculture products. Of this, 11.2% or $5.7 billion have gone to USA. So US is an important market for us because 11.2% of agri products from India, they go to the US. Now, let's see, to understand the impact, we have to see what we export to US. So the top product is marine products. Of course, we consider it under agriculture product heading only. And our exports to US in the calendar year 2024 were exceeding $2 billion out of our total global exports of $6 billion. So 1/3 of marine products, they are destined, they have gone to US. So this sector may be adversely impacted if Mr. Trump plays his cards. Then second is rice, both basmati and non-basmati rice. Here our global exports, we are the leaders with the global exports of $8 billion. And our exports to US, they are smaller at $386 million only. So it's small chunk. And I think if they also harbor the ambition to export US rice to the world, and if any duties are put on this, of course, rice exports will be hurt, but overall scenario, India will not be hurt. And at the personal level, I may be slightly happy if less basmati rice go to US, because as we all know that 1 kg of basmati rice requires more than 800 liters of water. So we export water basically at a very cheap price. So, but if I forget about this, the rice share of US in rice exports is very minimal and will not feel any impact on this. Other products are vegetable extract, which we exported $400 million. Then psyllium husk or isabgol, what we call, $148 million. Then castor oil, $106 million. These products are unique to India, like isabgol, psyllium husk, or castor oil. And US may not find any replacement. So even if Mr. Trump imposes tariffs, he may not find, the product may become expensive, but we may not lose the market. Then black pepper, it's a rare commodity now. We export $180 million. So I say that major impact may be there on marine product sector, and rest will absorb very happily without much problems. I'll stop here.
Agriculture categories which cannot be substituted. You said black pepper. Black pepper happens only, it's only cultivated or grown in South India or Sri Lanka. So irrespective of what the tariffs are, pepper will be consumed and it has to come from India. Shrimps, you cannot, move it to some other part of the world. This is not car or, a chip where you can set up a manufacturing plant and move it. So I'm just surprised that why should agriculture imports come into this entire tariff war gambit? I mean, there is a natural origin and there is a natural consumption, and that cannot be substituted. Kahani khatam.
There is a bigger story on this. I'll request your precise question, then I'll answer this.
This question, sir, is that if India today reduces the import on agriculture substitutes from US, which is pistachio, almonds, and US then will not increase tariffs on black pepper or shrimps. But, I mean, do you think it has to be quid pro quo?
So first thing we have to understand very clearly, this is not about tariff. Tariff is a word, is a facade used by Mr. Trump. If it would have been about tariff, then there would have been no reciprocal tariffs imposed on Mexico or Canada. US is trading with Mexico and Canada since 1994, since the formation of NAFTA at zero tariffs. Okay, so there would have been nothing. Similarly, with Europe and America, they are both developed countries. They both have almost similar tariffs. So it's not about tariffs, it's about something else. For India, I'll tell you, right now they are exporting things like almonds and walnuts and Brazil nuts and pistachio and ethyl alcohol, but their ambitions are much more. Today, they don't export to us wheat and rice and GMO products. but they have eyes on opening up our entire agriculture market. So today they talk about this, but if you read the US documents, they have problems with our internal policies also. It's not only about India's high tariffs. For example, they don't like our MSP scheme. They want us to modify or dismantle our MSP scheme. They don't like that we allow blending of ethanol for commercial use, blending of with petrol. And they say India has prohibited imports. Why India is prohibiting import? India is in its rights to take this. It's all WTO compliant. Then they have problems with our not accepting most of the GMO products. So tariffs are a facade to push India about deeper reforms. And that's why we should be very careful. It's like chipping. I chip 2% of a wall. In 50 years, wall will be gone and no protection will be there. So we should understand what's the game plan. Game plan is not about tariffs. Tariffs are easy to explain to people. It's about internal, total opening up, dismantling of India's all the structures and everything. I'll stop here and wait for your question.
Good morning, sir. This is Shell also joining in the conversation. I just wanted to understand that, the fact that we have heard this tariff rhetoric non-stop, I just wanted to get your sense or your view on how much of this would actually hit Indian economy or the GDP if there is an agri tariff that comes about.
So we have today, if we hits, what will be hit our current exports to the US? Okay, and current exports, we see marine product will be a hit if he hits us with higher tariffs, because 1/3 of marine product go to US. Of course, it will be hit. 1/3 is a big number. Rest, I don't see any product to be hit to the extent that it will affect, or its effect will be noticed in the Indian economy. I don't think any other products will be hit. We can't feel any pain of any other product hitting. But if we agree to their demands on, say, dismantling of MSP, allowing GMO products, and allowing ethanol, domestic policy beyond tariffs, then it will be a big problem. And about tariffs, we should be very clear. Agriculture is not a trade issue for us. We of course exports, we imports whatever we need. It's not a trade, it's a livelihood issue. Understand, more than 700 million people of our country, more than 50% of the people, they are dependent on their livelihood. It's not a trade or profit issue, it's a livelihood issue. If we allow the import of highly subsidized wheat or rice from US and other countries, they stop growing first year, and second year there will be starvation kind of problem. We have to understand it's a livelihood issue. People's lives will be in danger if we take liberties with this. Current export and import figures, they don't justify the grave danger that awaits us on agriculture. So agriculture, we have high tariffs, we admit that, but we say we need that to protect our population. And the first interest of any country is to be good to its population. And so I'll stop here. Yeah.
Where do you think Indian government will have to compromise? Where do you think they need to bring the import duties down? Because import duties on badam, pistachio, khajur,
very less. They are 5%. Come on, 35 rupees per kg. If you consider price of badam at 700 rupees per kg, it comes to 5%. 5% perfect, boss. You have to look at the US tariff. It's very painful to see US, the president from the rooftop, he talks about 150% on alcohol, Indian alcohol, 100% of barley, most of which the data is wrong. From our side, we don't tell that their agriculture tariffs, they are horrible. Half of the most of the agriculture tariffs, they are non-ad valorem tariffs. For example, they say 20% plus $3 per kg of the product. If you calculate these may turn out to be 50%, 60%, 70%. So you cannot export to them. You export what they want to import from us. But they pick up the highest tariffs from us and they shout from the rooftop. Their tariffs, many of the tariffs are worse than us. And painful point is that we don't raise those issues with them. I hope the negotiators, they talk when they sit across the table. They also point out to the US that their tariffs are very high. Most of the agriculture tariffs are very complicated and non-ad valorem, which is beyond percentage, kg basis and other things, very complicated tariffs are there. So if you ask how much we should reduce, we don't know. Even Mr. Trump doesn't know whether he's going to hit us with one tariff for all the products for a country. For example, he did 20% for China. No differentiation between agriculture and non-agriculture products. Or he wants to hit agriculture separately or industry separately. Or he wants to hit marine products separately and castor oil separately. We don't know. They also don't know. But I can make a fair guess. The guess is, I have seen their president saying $100 billion of deficit with India. It's less than $45 billion. They say tariff on Harley Davidson at 100%, it's 30%. So I say their databases, they are not updated. They will dare not attempt tariffs at reciprocal level or even product level. They may go at country level like they did for China or Canada or Mexico, or at max they may impose very high tariffs on agriculture and rest on the industry level. That's my guess today.
Appreciate your time. So glad you could join us with your valuable inputs. Well, the mystery.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.